Hello and good morning. Welcome to Shambhavi Spectrum. I have Jing here, and what can I say about her? She is a person who deals with mind transformations. Big words. I don't even know how to spell them. So, can you give us a little bit background about yourself, Jing, and then tell us about your company? And welcome to Marketing Magic and Industry Insights from Shambhavi. Thanks so much for being here. Go ahead,
Thank,
Jing.
yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Shambawe. This is such a privilege and a joy to be here. Really, in the short time that before the session we had a chat, I learned so much about what you're doing, and it's so wonderful, right? Because what I see myself as essentially, regardless the work which I do, what I have at the background, the intention is to create a world that works for everyone. This is my mission, right? So the work which I'm doing is just providing that access. So essentially, my questions to myself are two. One is, how do I best serve humanity? The other one is, what makes the difference? So when I did all of this exploring of all these years, I was exploring human transformation for over a decade, did the transformation coaching, and then I became a rapid transformation therapist. This is using part of it using hypnosis and many other advanced technique to help people literally overcome their physical illnesses and their emotional or mental imbalances like depression, addictions, weight issues, just the everyday life that people are dealing with, right? Really rapidly in usually in one session and without medication. So this is what I essentially do. I was so passionate about helping people finding this access and utilizing this. And so the message behind all of this is that they activate their true power, because each and every one of us, we all have infinite power, right? This is the part we also talk about infinite abundance and infinite love. So all of this is stopping them, and you like, because we grew up with the limiting beliefs and negative beliefs, and then we self-sabotage ourselves, right? So this is the essentially the work which I do. So I combine the two, the human transformation, the coaching, plus the rapid transformation therapy. So this message is incredibly powerful. I have amazing results from people around the world.
So thank you so
Yeah.
much for that explanation, Jing. Particularly in the last year, we have seen a lot of emphasis on empathy and on the fact that mental health needs to be addressed, and whether it's small or less, big, mental health is an important issue. So tell me something about yourself, about your educational background, and then you said you've been in it for about 10 years now. How did the transformation happen? What was your background?
Yeah, that's amazing. Talking about my background and my story, oh, I live this stuff. This is my life. My life is about transformation, exponential growth. Because essentially, the work which I do is to help people have that exponential growth. Because who we are in this world is all energy, right? Vibrating at different level. So as I was sharing earlier, I come from a small farm village in Mongolia, China. I was born unwanted because I was a girl. So that became my essential limiting beliefs, right? So then this just became my life. How I vibrate is that I'm unwanted. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve. So I attracted a lot of, kind of experiences that related to that. And until I had enough of that, and I woke up, right? That's when all of this started. So that at the time I already uh, broke through, and I went to traveling around the world. And actually, that's quite interesting story. I think it's worth sharing. I just quickly share. When I was
Yeah,
about
just
10
I
years
just
old,
want to,
yeah,
yeah, I really would love to hear about your travels, except that you're frozen. I hope you know that when the recording comes out, it's going to be your, I mean, I think you know how it is, the networks are bad. So
yeah,
you
yeah,
please do continue, but I just want to keep you informed
yeah,
that
yeah,
you're frozen.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. I think, yeah, just to take care of the experience of your students.
Yeah,
Not too bad.
sure.
I
Why
hope it
not?
was not
And our audience, yeah, and
that
our
is,
audience, because I'm going to share this with you, and I hope you share it with your audience as well.
yeah, 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 sure, sure. Thank you. Great. So the the transformation, or whatever I could call it, like the first initiation of looking into my own power, started when I was 10 years old. I was out in the field herding sheep and goats, and all of a sudden there was this loud noise, booming noise coming overhead, and I looked up and it was this airplane. It was so huge, right? And it was flying really low, and I was mesmerized. And then I made a kind of like a vow, right? I said, one of the days I will be traveling around the world, doing the things I love and make a difference, because I instinctively knew that that was what I was going to do. Because I just felt like this must be so much more than the kind of circumstance, the kind of harsh village life that I had, right? Think about the little girl that was herding sheep, right? So then that journey just started. The seed, I would say, the sowed in my soil of me, and then it started to just grow and flourish. And then later on, I had all sorts of experiences. But the guiding force of that's like a GPS. And then when I was in Southeast Asia, I was traveling at the time. You see, all of that happened. Okay, it's just about 10 years later, after I made that wish, and it happened. And universe just conspired delivering all of that I wanted, right? So I started to look into more of this power that we have. So this led to my work. And then first I transformed myself from the physical level. I stopped eating meat, and I turned into a raw vegan. When I was in Cambodia, I was literally transformed, and I started a 7 days water fast, 7 days, 7 nights, and that purified me as the old self, and then separated it into the new self. And then I looked into studied the quantum physics. This really elevated the theory, which the work which I'm doing now, right? So, because you see, this like empowered me to ask those questions, really who we are, why we're here, right? So, and then I discovered all of that, and I started to ask questions. Okay, how can I best serve humanity? Because we're all so connected, we're one, right? So if I am not doing that, I'm not doing like living my life, the meaningful life. So this is how everything just got started again. I got guided to be on the journey which I am on now, and serving people from the levels which I see, right? Because I still declare myself every day. I'm like, because I'm a channel. It's not even about me anymore. I want to be used, right? I want to be used and then serve at my highest level. So that's why I say, okay, I can explore at the highest I can, right? The spirituality part. I'm very spiritual, and I'm spiritually awakened as well. But you see, that doesn't really make the difference for the common people. So I got to bring myself down to solve the real world issues, right? That's when I became an entrepreneur. I want to solve real world issues. And this is where I actually wanted to pose the question, which you're going to ask me about, to really, get all the creative ideas together so we can share this message, powerful message, to as many people as possible.
So tell me something, tell me something, Jing. You mentioned you're an entrepreneur, and you are, of course, at a higher level of spiritual awakening, which is very, it's rare to find in a person who's so young as you. But I think everybody finds their water levels in their own time. So as an entrepreneur, that means that you have an established company, a business name, and you need to sustain that, correct? So can you tell me something about, I know that you mentioned your website is under
Yeah.
development, and
No, it's
what I
live
would,
now. Yeah, it's
yeah,
just
what I
being
would like to
updated.
know is what are the other marketing strategies, or things you like. You have to be visible. You have to tell people that you are there.
Yeah.
You are available
Yeah.
for them and for their services. So first of all, do you do a business to consumer model, or do you do a business to business model also?
Well, so at the beginning, right now, I'm just facing the business to consumer. And
Right.
then I'm also considering business to business, which is with corporate world, to train and help people like on a massive level.
Mm-hmm.
So you're asking about the marketing strategy.
Yes.
So basically what I've been doing is first getting my website, and then just getting everything connected. And then mostly I'm focused on LinkedIn. And I
Okay.
also share posts and do share what I'm doing on Facebook and Instagram. And then I do a lot of networking, because most of my clients actually, they're from referrals. So people who had amazing results, and then they just can't, not to share with other people. So this is how everything's just going. Not
So,
much of from my side. I did do some webinars. I did
okay.
do talks, all of
Uh-huh.
this to bring awareness and also generate interest. And I got clients from those ways as well.
So tell me something. As often is the challenge in services, because your service is intangible, and I think most people, including me, probably don't even understand what happens to them if they are going to interact with you. Then
Mm.
how do you convince them, or how what kind of pricing do you do? I mean, I'm not asking the actual price, but
Mm.
in the sense of how does the pricing? How do you convince your customer or your consumer who is with you on the price structure that you use, or
Mm.
is it just flexible? What do you do about it?
Okay, that's a great question. So this is actually so connected with what I do, because my work is all about energy. Because human beings, we are all energy. How we are vibrating, how we are showing up in this world determines everything, our reality, right? So for me, even including this, everything I'm doing with marketing, the business and everything, I just work on myself, work on my energy. So it's like more of the attraction model. People who are coming in is because they are resonating with the message, the talks and all the information, whatever my declaration out, right? It's kind of like I make a sound in the universe. People who resonate, who know all of this, even including people who come in support me. There's so many people actually coming, they resonate with this message so much, right? This is literally such a powerful message. Access, you just can get rid of anything without all of this giving power to the doctors and hospitals, and then they take advantage of you, right? So once they resonate and they come to me, most people, they come, of course, first I have to share, and then I have to post myself, I have to give talks and webinars. So these are the model which I am using. So how they get to me, how they attract to me, is because I first declare, I take a stand for what I'm doing. I truly believe in it. So energetically speaking, I'm on that level. But of course, if you ask me whether I can, up level that, that's why I'm here. I want to up level. That's my challenge. My biggest challenge right now is with
So,
powerful message like this. How can I, you know, bring this message to the bigger audiences and make,
so
yeah, better.
Jing, tell me something. Like how every company has a health officer and an HR department. So, do you think very soon there will be a person who will be like you, helping people transform, or just I'm sure that you probably are do a little bit face reading, or when you are in that aura of the person, you gauge how they are. So, do you think slowly companies will actually have to consider this along with the mental health challenges which people face, that they would actually need somebody internal as a full-time person? Do you think there will ever be a position like this in any organization?
Mm. Well, I would say most people, probably the companies, they do have some people like this. Their HR are getting trained, and then they're getting certain trainings about this. So because this is a huge issue, right? We talk about, because think about the people, the absentees in the company, in the corporate world is huge, cost them huge suffering, right? So you see, the work which I do is because we address root cause issue. Literally, once you address this one thing, whatever people are dealing with, everything in their life start to work. This is the magic about it, right? So that's why I'm saying it's almost like effortless living. So if you address the root cause, you don't need to go out firefight anymore. You don't go out like running around and chasing and doing all this crazy stuff and then feeling exhausted, burned out, right? So this is the talks which we actually constantly giving to corporate world, and help them like improve their performance effectiveness, and people are like reporting less in sickness, or they just like want to work, and they're so energized and so inspired because they know what wake up to who they are. It's
Right.
so incredibly transforming and powerful that this is around the world, not only here. Okay, this is around the world in US, UK, and Europe. You know all these companies, even including Fortune 500 companies, even sports teams. Do you know those sports teams? How
Right.
they do? They want this kind of sessions before the game, so they actually make sure their players on the right energy level so they can play their best. And usually they win if they do this work. This is how incredible it is. Yeah.
It's amazing, Jing, that you are talking about something which we have never discussed so much in depth and in detail. And I'm very glad that you were able to find the time. What I
Thank
would
you.
like before we finish the session is there some one tip that you would give my audience, or one point which you would like them to think about whenever they are in a dilemma, or when they are happy or sad, or anything at any point, which something, one thing which could make them feel better or feel positive? Anything? Would you like to give a tip?
Oh my God, this is such a beautiful question. I love it. I was just
Thank you.
couldn't wait to get you to share. So there are actually quite a few things which I want to say. But first, absolutely no negotiation. Number one, when something happens in your life that irritates you or something you don't like, it's not about other people. Always look at yourself. It's your energy. Because you see, this is what I'm talking about. Law of attraction is in everything. This is also what I'm doing in terms of my work, how I'm attracting even Dr. Shambawe in my life. It's because of this, right? It's truly like that. So when you pay attention to your own energy, working on yourself, your own attraction level, oh my goodness, everything gonna shift in your life, right? So this is one. If you know in this, you will very much be sure to take responsibility in everything happening in your life. You will never be a victim anymore. This is a huge, okay, this is probably the biggest thing, the shift you will ever have is shift yourself from being a victim to become the powerful creator or the master of your life, right? So this
Yeah,
is one.
I think you brought a very important point, and because which I also believe in, is that most people end up thinking that they are the victims, and
Yeah,
it's very unfortunate because the people who are actually victims don't even know that they are being victimized. So
yeah,
I think being wallowing in self-pity and thinking that you're a victim is something which people need to really shake themselves out of. And I'm
yeah.
so glad that you brought this out, Jing. And thank you so much for your time. And I
Thank
definitely
you.
look forward to seeing how your business grows, and maybe we'll have another session at that time. And when you're not so frozen, and maybe
Oh,
post times when we can actually have a proper conversation, that
yeah.
would really be very great. Thank you so much for spending your
Thank
time,
you.
and
Yeah.
welcome. I hope that you succeed in all your endeavors, and
Thank
best
you.
of luck. And bye for now.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye bye.